Why are we poor? What is the rationale behind the decision to choose poverty? What is behind our mindsets when we accepted that we are poor? Why do we not have everything for everybody? This is what this book humbly presents. This book, Ignorance Applied, it humbly offers some reflection points. It offers an opportunity for our leaders to reflect about the decisions they've made. There are some questions here that are critical to understand the context within which we built the foundation of who we are as Africans. When did we lose sight of our power? Ignorance Applied is a book that comes to address the deficiencies of our intellectual poverty. Who are we? This is the reason behind this book. In Ignorance Applied, I offer leaders an opportunity to reconsider who we are and why we are and why our forefathers, Nyerere, Lumumba, you name them, why they believed we are not poor, and how we can take a hold back of our essence. Our intrinsic value is what is missing in economic models. Economic models cannot feel, they cannot sense. It's weird because when we go to watch Beyonce's Renaissance, when we used to watch Michael Jackson, people would faint, people would scream, people would get emotional. How do we price that? This is what Ignorance Applied is trying to answer. The arguments that I'm making in these are observations, economic observations. I'm criticizing my own faculty. I'm an economist by profession. And I'm saying, how do we calculate that which is not tangible, that which does not have numbers? Because by excluding it, we're excluding the African continent, an opportunity to showcase who they are, who we are. So I would like to propose that we question things like 1 + 1. What is behind the assumption that 1 + 1 is 2? What is behind the assumption that 2 + 2 is 4? Who said it? And why, most importantly, did we believe it? How have we structured a system that does not produce healthy people, mentally healthy people, physically healthy people, spiritually healthy people? Because it's from our mental health that we are going to find the reason to believe we are wealthy. Because if we were poor, the marketing behind poverty, it's inexplicable. Then if we're going this direction, the deficient direction, the deficient way, then at least we must acknowledge that we want to price our poverty. Let's price it. Vamos pôr o preço na nossa pobreza. Vamos pôr o preço. Quanto custa? Porque tem valor. Porque se não tivesse valor, não teríamos tantas pessoas a fazer marketing de pobreza. Então vamos pôr o preço. Porque talvez o que está a faltar entre o africano ser pobre e ser rico é o preço. É o preço. Porque I don't understand, it doesn't make sense that cows, which is something tangible, has more value than the dollar or any other currency, because even in the dollar we have something that's written, in God we trust. So by default, we're trusting a piece of paper that also is trusting a miraculous belief that it will sustain itself. Africans have got cows, we've got cattle. Why can we not go to a banking system and say we want to invest in our communities, and the only guarantee we have is they will say it's not bankable. This is the limitation of leadership. The entire banking system is based on a deficient foundation of intrinsic value. What is valuable? At what point did we think that a piece of paper can be more valuable than a cow? At what point did we think that a gross domestic product can be more value than our creativity? At what point is the question that ignorance applied? Because we are proposing in this book, I am proposing that until such time every leader acknowledges themselves as ignorant because they have not dealt with their intellectual poverty, because they have not dealt with their spiritual poverty, emotional poverty, until such time we fix that and unlearn the limited statistics and mathematics, accounting, scientists, economists. We all designed our models, banking models, economic models. Everything is based on assumptions. So if we have the power to have an assumption, I mean, what is the difference between economists and statisticians who are all basing things on assumption with, what do we call it? A witch doctor. It's an assumption. So if we're going to assume, let us assume to reorganize things from the basis of 100% of the African continent, not from 10%. Let's make the right assumptions and say, how do we design these models on the basis of 100%? It's an assumption. And I tell you, if we make the decision that the assumption is wrong and we restructure and come from self and come from integrity, then, only then will we scrap the limited approach to the solutions we bring to the table. Only then will we demand from ourselves the need, the desire, the effort, the willingness. You see, the strategies are simple when the base, the why, is correct. The assumptions. Não existe a possibilidade de um boi ser menos caro que um papel de metical, $1. É um papel. Como é que nós conseguimos acreditar mais no papel do que numa coisa que estamos a ver que é tangível? Se nós estamos a dizer que desenhamos a economia com base em coisas tangíveis, então, qual é a limitação? Por que uma pessoa que é um pastor, que está nas zonas rurais, é um agricultor, tem um negócio, está a ir ao banco, está a dizer que a minha garantia não é dinheiro, a minha garantia não é casa, a minha garantia é um boi, é o meu stock, é o meu terreno, é a minha terra. Com que base é que nós nos limitamos a dizer que isto não é bancável? Por que não é bancável? We need to question that. Because even philosophers who design mathematics, they argue, you will find in the book, they say, all of mathematics is wrong. How about that? Our entire education system is designed to produce deficient individuals. They have the technical ability, they can use their hands limitedly, but the core, the essence, the mental health, the mental strength, the mental power, it's not in the education system. So it produces leaders that go into lead. They're great engineers, they're great accountants, they're great statisticians, but they cannot interact with each other. Our organizations are unhealthy. The context within which we need to lead and create innovation, it's unhealthy because it's limited on the belief that the only thing you can offer me is your mind, limited to what you were educated. You can't go beyond. The future generation is not going that direction. This is not the direction. We need to challenge ourselves. We need to question ourselves, and we need to say, maybe poor means pricing our own resources. POOR simply means pricing our own resources, because if we price them well, Overnight, we are wealthy. We are the wealthiest continent in the world. Overnight. So maybe ser pobre talvez significa que só temos que prestar os nossos recursos. Temos que revalorizar o valor intrínseco que nós deixamos com a exclusão que fizemos quando desenhamos os modelos econômicos. Estamos limitados, and I'm challenging all leaders to find the ignorance within their mindsets, because when you allow yourself to be ignorant, magic happens, because suddenly you are willing to relearn. I cannot use a phone. My son always tells me, he's at university, he always says to me, Mommy, until such time you can get to know how to use an iPhone, you haven't even understood the technological revolution. Mommy, I can't help you. You're still using Samsung. You've never experienced the entry level. These kids have something to give us in terms of how we structure the new economic model. It includes a new set of thinking. These kids are not going to wait for us with our limited solutions. They will create their own solutions. So if we are to respond to their needs, we are going to start by admitting our ignorance. See you next time.